Hey, goodness to you. It's Sporty King coming to you with Glue Wednesday. And I'm always coming on early. I try to get on at least 5 minutes before my broadcast. So don't worry, you're not late. I try to get on to give the audience a chance to grow, get connected. Because you may have already said, you know what, at 1 o'clock I want to hear Sporty, but then at 1 o'clock you're doing something else. You say, oh my God, I forgot I got here. And I got to close stuff out. So I give you time where it comes on now. And you say, oh, yeah. Oh, I got 5 minutes. Let me close stuff out. Get yourself some water, chill out, and welcome. Hey, look, I always say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, afternoon, or evening, but isn't it great to have good in your salutation? So that's how I like to open up my broadcast, and I like to open up my days with that as well. Look, I come on early. We got less than 4 minutes for our message for today, but I see some people on. I'm broadcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So give me a shout out. Let me know where you're coming in from so that I can let the other people across the other mediums know who else is sitting and watching with them. Hey, how about that? Because this is my interactive day and we can get a little conversation going. It depends. Okay. So we've got less than we still got less than 4 minutes coming up on 3 for today's message. If you feel like you're live and you're early, you still got time to go get yourself some water, some tea, go to the bathroom, go put some hand sanitizer on, go check your temperature, go do a COVID test. No, you ain't got time for that home COVID test because that take. Oh yeah, you can do that because your results in 15 minutes. You don't have to spend the whole 15. All right. But do something extra for yourself today. That's always a plus, okay? Now, you just made me think of something. Is the volume on properly? Because I've had that happen where I'm just talking away and talking away. Hey, what's going on, Celia? Coming in from LinkedIn and Chicago, Celia. Let me know, is the volume working? Because I'm running my mouth last week and the thing wasn't on. So I see you. At least you said click hello. So if I don't see you say something about the volume in a second, then I won't know whether or not you can hear me. And well, let me see if I can just check this thing anyway. Technology will get us. We've got less than 3 minutes for today's message. So make sure you're ready for that. And it looks like my sound is on. Oh, okay. Here's how I can check too. Good. All right. Video, audio, sound. Yes, my sound is on. Okay, good. All right. I forgot to double check that. But Celia, it's good to see you again. Oh, and see, you got the confirmation. And I got to remember. There's also a delay because I'm using media lesson. I'm using something called StreamYard. So I'm broadcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. But StreamYard is the connector. I don't know the proper term for it, but it's the medium where I can post from there, my live. Okay. And what's going on, Stephanie Shaw? Hey, oh my God. I wish I could show a camera. It's coming in from LinkedIn to show you that you are my people to call. After the Monday morning prayer, I've been meaning to call you, so I will definitely get a chance to check in with you today. So thank you so much for coming in, checking in from LinkedIn also. So we got 2 LinkedIns. We got Cecilia and we got Stephanie, and we've got less than 2 minutes for today's message as well. All right. And Stephanie, so you're in Virginia, I believe, correct? Okay, so I know Celia's in Chicago. Look, I'm having a great day in Charlotte. We got a nice sunny day. We've had so much rain that doesn't last for the whole day. It's not tropical, but it's so good. I'm right. Stephanie's in Virginia, and so it just came to my mind. I moved into this house. I'm renting a house, and I've been here since November 2019. I have not had to water my grass once. Is that a blessing? And yes, it's just a good. I will post the word yes as many times as I see it, because I know, again, there's a delay into what the yes is for. But because you had the yes sir, we got them both. So there's the military yes sir, and then there's the civilian yes. All right, we got less than a minute for today's message. And in case y'all didn't see what I got up there when your names aren't showing on the screen, I got goodness. goodness, because for now it's good morning, but somebody will be watching the broadcast and it may be good afternoon for them, or maybe good evening for them. And that's the key. That is so much, the blessing is that you can have good in front of your salutation, whatever it is. All right. So that becomes the blessing and the key for us. And it's 1 o'clock. Let's roll with today's message. All right. So many times we hear people talk about Wednesday as hump day. But you know me, I like to play with language. And I say, well, hump has the connotation of the need to get over. But see, it comes from old school. I said old school rules. So they used to just say, hey, people work Monday to Friday and Wednesday was hump day, because we never acknowledged flex time. So I say that, hey, when people work, Wednesday is the middle of the week, regardless of when you work. So it's the day that keeps the week beginning and the week end together. And so it's the glue. And you see, it puts me in my favorite mode, the prayerful mode. And that's why I call it Glue Wednesday. And the Glue Wednesday is just a reminder that GLUE, God's love undoes everything. And it's not to say that God's love will tear things apart, but whatever has been torn apart, God will undo that tear and bring it back together. And so that becomes the key. We don't need to hump. We don't need hump day. We need glue. We need to keep it together, especially these days. And you know what? Ooh, I want to grab that right out of my mouth, because we all say, every generation says especially. Every generation has had that especially now moment nonstop. So sometimes we need to stop and think about that as well. Because now it goes back to the goodness. Because when you think about how many generations have had, especially what's going on these days, you think about all of those especiallys, and you have to say, wow. And God is still so good, because we made it to our especially, even after they had theirs, which they thought was going to be the end of the world, right? Fred Sanford, Elizabeth, here I'm coming. It's the big one. So that's the key. We have so many things to be thankful for, and so much glue to let God just celebrate and rain down on us and help us keep it together. So thank you for that. And hey, Daphne coming in from Facebook. All right. And Daphne, and she comes in saying, hey, Facebook, Glue family, Glue Wednesday fam, because this is our family day. We form a nice, wonderful friendship on Glue Wednesday, because it's my interactive day where I talk to you when I see your comments. So even if I might be reading my thing together and I see a comment and I say, oh, and let me encourage you to do that. If you hear something and it sparks a thought, go on and put it in the chat. Put it in the thread, so that we can, all, see how we have like minds. I did a post yesterday that said, thanks, THANKS. The heart always needs kindred spirits. And that's just a reminder that we have to make sure that we align ourselves with like-minded individuals. And sometimes what happens is we think we're the only one thinking of something. More likely, we tend to think about we're the only one going through something, but we also think we're the only one thinking of something. And then we want to find out, get that confirmation. Hey, wait a minute. Cecilia's thinking the same thing I was thinking. Oh my God, I would have never thought that Stephanie had that on her mind. What, you mean to tell me Daphne was thinking the same thing? And then that becomes a beautiful affirmation. Not that we need, I will always say that, because I think it's so important to be who you are, but we don't need someone to confirm who we are. But we need to confirm whose we are, and to see that God is still making the connections. Remember, it's that, especially these times. And so, like Daphne says, yes, like-mindedness. And that's also one of my jokes that I'm dead serious about. I always tell people my Facebook posts do not, and LinkedIn, any of my posts, I don't honor the First Amendment, because I'm not interested in having an argument with you on my social media about something that I believe. My posts are to uplift and encourage like-minded individuals. And so we think what we think. I don't need you to come on here with your opposing view. You can say, you can give me another way of looking at it once, and I will respect what you post, and I will either, get back and say, well, okay, I see what you're saying, but I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody about what I believe and what we believe. This is not a public page. This is my page. And so that's just always my joke. I don't honor the First Amendment. You are not going to change my mind about a deep-seated belief based on a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post or YouTube post. And you're not going to do that to someone else. So let that go. Let that go. We talk about agreeing to disagree, and then we don't do it. We get all fluffed up and, wanting someone to change over to our side. No, no, no. Agreeing to disagree is extremely hard. We say it with such a grain of salt, but it is not an easy thing to do. So let's click away from Daphne's post about like-mindedness and move on and see that, I mentioned Wednesday's my interactive day. Well, I've been doing Glue Wednesday since 2017. And then when the pandemic hit, I upgraded it to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so then I need to come up with ideas of what to speak about. I created what I call the GAS series. And that is, I call it the Glue Alphabet series, where each week I would feature a different letter. So I would tell you, the listener, put a word beginning with the letters X, Y, Z, in the alphabet. And next week you'll be my co-author because I'll feature that letter. So this week we're going to be featuring the letter M. Next week we'll be featuring the letter N. So please wait toward the end of the broadcast, or if you have to leave early, please then put a word beginning with the letter N, and I'll get you in to be one of my co-authors for next week. See, my co-authors this week are Daphne Francis, who gave me the word magnificent; Rogercarole Rogers, who gave me the word malicious; Jose Valencia gave me motivation; and Vic Morris gave me miserable. So what I'll do is you'll see the words at the bottom. See the stream there? I'll have the word and the co-author. I won't say, here's your word, Daphne. No, but what I'll do is smoothly, melt it into the broadcast, and I'll just do that. And why am I doing that? Because, one of the things that is so important is we have to become better listeners. And so therefore, what I do by my doing this helps you hear that word, because you already know the words they're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for magnificent, malicious, motivation, miserable. And so then I give you that little tip so you can make sure you heard it. Listening is the number one communication skill. He who listens most, he who speaks most loses. So he who listens best wins, because 2 ears, 1 mouth, so you can hear twice as much as you have to say. But when you speak, you go away from quantity to quality. And so that's why listening is so important. So the things I do are also to help you improve your listening skills. Well, each week I have, just as I say, it's Glue Wednesday, it's God's love. So each week I have a biblical scripture that I call my guiding scripture for the week's message. And my guiding scripture this week is Revelation 5:11. It says, then I looked around. No, then I looked again, and I heard the singing of thousands and millions of angels around the throne, and the living beings and the elders. So that's my guiding scripture to create my message today, which is MOM, M-O-M, making our memories. Now, some of you may be familiar with my book, Morning, Noon, and Night. Now, if you aren't, know that the introduction says, should we ever not celebrate the new year? Should we ever not celebrate the new year? Should we ever not celebrate Mother's Day, Father's Day, being born, giving thanks, history, being free, military service members and families, morning, noon, and night? Should we ever not celebrate any of those things? So I've decided to have somewhat of a Mother's Day celebration. I'm going to have a Mother's Day celebration today as I approach my mother's birthday, which is next week, August 15th. And it's also the 15-year anniversary of her death. Today, what I'm going to do is share 3 inspirational messages about mothers and how they can be celebrated or even remembered. Because morning, noon, and night is when we should be celebrating them. So there's a nice flashback oldie picture. excuse me, that's back in my 20s when I also had a metabolism, as you can see from the flat stomach. And that's me and my mother, Mary Louise Williamson. All right, Mary Louise King. And that was at actually at a cotillion. I used to do fashion shows and coordinate cotillions for teenagers and tweens. And so we used to have a ball doing that. That was my days back in New York. So see, again, there's another memory. And I encourage you as we go through today's broadcast, if you think of some memories that you want to just throw them in at any time, okay? Throw them in at any time. I would love to post them up there for everybody to see. But I'm going to read you 3 inspirational messages, okay? And this first one is called Mommy. Once upon a time, there was a child ready to be born. So one day he asked God, "They tell me you are sending me to Earth tomorrow, but how am I going to live there, being so small and helpless?" God said, "Among the many angels, I chose one for you. She will be waiting for you and will take care of you." The child said, "But tell me, here in heaven, I don't do anything else but sing and smile. That's enough for me to be happy." And God said, "And you will feel your angels' love and be happy." The little child said, "And how am I going to be able to understand when people talk to me if I don't know the language that men talk?" God said, "Your angel will tell you the most beautiful and sweet words you will ever hear. And with each and with much patience and care, your angel will tell you how to speak." The child said, "And what am I going to do when I talk to you?" God said, "Your angel will place your hands together and will teach you how to pray." I've heard that there are some, okay. And the child said, "I've heard that on earth there are malicious." Ooh, I see what I did. I clicked back wrong. Oh, give me a second. No, I didn't. Okay. All right. I've heard that on earth there are some malicious men who will protect me. God said, "Your angel will defend you, even if it means risking its life. But I will always be miserable because I will not see you anymore." And God said, "Your angel will always talk to you about me and will teach you the way for you to come back to me, even though I will always be next to you." At that moment, there was such peace in heaven, but voices from earth could already be heard. And the child, in a hurry, asked softly, "Oh God, if I am about to leave now, please tell me my angel's name." And God said, "Your angel's name is of no consequence. You will simply call her Mommy." Oh, God, I see I got a comment in there. Oh, wow. So what'd you say, Daphne? Oh, we said, okay, Stephanie, great memory of family. And not just family, okay? I'm focusing on mothers making our memory, but and where I didn't say not just family to exclude, but I want to say where does the family come from? One of my books is Do You Have Any Idea How Fine You Are? A poetic tribute to God's greatest gift to and source of mankind, women. So that's what it is. That's what talking about. Family memories are generated through the mother, and good or bad, and whether and you know what? Again, let's not take it for granted that everybody still has their mother, and let's not take it for granted how long people had their mothers. Some people lost their mothers when they were less than 10 years old, some in their teens. You know, I have nieces and nephews who lost in less than 10, and a few of them in their teens who lost my niece and their mother. So I was blessed to have a mother for 52 years. And so that's something that I celebrate. So, yeah, so thank you, Stephanie. Great memory of family. How can you celebrate? And then, and Daphne loved the quilt. The quilt. Love the quilt. Oh, is that that what that you wove together through the memories? Is that what that is? Or did you just create all what God just said to this child and you made a quilt out of that? Now, even if that's not what Daphne meant, and she'll let us know in the chat, wasn't that a beautiful word picture as well? That's what it's all about, y'all. That's what celebrating is about, and that's what your comments in the posts allow me to do. I thank people because I say, speaking with you, I did a post, in fact, on Facebook and LinkedIn talking about how conversations with people is what allow me to exercise my creativity. So I thank you for the online conversations, because as I respond to them, sometimes I come up with something that I was like, oh man, that's pretty good. I got to post it. So that was mommy. All right. This next one is called Mom. It's called I'm a Mom. A woman named Emily, renewing her driver's license at the county clerk's office, was asked by the woman recorder to state her occupation. She hesitated, uncertain how to classify herself. What I mean is, explained the recorder, do you have a job? Or are you just, and then, oh, of course I have a job, interrupted Emily. I'm a mom. I forgot all, and you know what? I'm gonna take a break and see what. Oh, okay. Ooh, I love it. Yeah, Daphne said yes. The way you put it together. There you go. They putting our quilt together. See, we can go back and just get clarity. Communication is about going back and getting clarity. Don't be in such a rush to press on with what you have to say, even as a presenter. Don't be in such a rush to press on with what you have to say that you don't take time to go back and get clarity, because you can leave someone based on you're not clarifying the point. And then what happens with that? Since you're in such a rush to get your victory and get your message clear, well, guess what? Your message will not be delivered because you missed an opportunity to get a connecting point for that person to see what you're talking about, so that your analogy could fill itself in, which is also like a quilt that Daphne's talking about. Every part of the quilt needs the other part to be properly connected. Y'all, sometimes that's what life is about. I love that thought. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm saying, that we expand one another's creativity through sharing. So thank you for that, Daphne. Thank you so much for that. All right. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so the last thing Emily said, I'm a mom. Well, I forgot all about her story until one day I found myself in the same situation, this time at our own town hall. The clerk was obviously a career woman, poised, efficient, and possessed of a high-sounding title like official interrogator or town registrar. What is your occupation? She probed. What made me say it? I do not know. The words simply popped out of my mouth. I'm a research associate in the field of child development and human relations. The clerk paused. A research associate in the field of child development and human relations. So the clerk paused, ballpoint pen frozen in midair, and looked up as though she had not heard right. I repeated the title slowly, emphasizing the most significant words. Research associate in the field of child development and human relations. Then I stared with wonder as my pronouncement was written in bold black ink on the official questionnaire. She had written the title. Might I ask, said the clerk with new interest, just what you do in your field? Coolly, without any trace of fluster in my voice, I heard myself reply, I have a continuing program of research in the laboratory and in the field. I have a continuing program of research in the laboratory and in the field. I'm working for my master's and already have 4 credits. I'm working for my master's and already have 4 credits. I'm going to go back and reread those and just click in it and make sure I pull your eyes down to the stream and going across the bottom. All right. Again, just because I have to. All right. So she said, I have a continuing program of research in the laboratory and in the laboratory and in the field. Now, I'm working on my master's and already have 4 credits. Of course, the job is one of the most demanding in the humanities. And I often work 14 hours a day. But the job is more challenging than most run-of-the-mill careers, and the rewards are more of a satisfaction rather than any money. There was an increasing note of respect in the clerk's voice as she completed the form, stood up, and personally ushered me to the door. As I drove into our driveway, buoyed up by my glamorous new career, I was greeted by my lab assistants, age 13, 7, and 3. Upstairs, I could hear our new experimental model, a 6-month-old baby in the child development program, testing out a new vocal pattern. I felt I had scored a beat on bureaucracy, and I had gone on the official records as someone more distinguished and indispensable to mankind than just another mom. Motherhood. What a magnificent career. And I guess that means great-grandmothers. That makes them executive senior research associates. I think it does. I also think it makes, that makes grandmothers senior research associates in the field of child development and human resource relations. And then great-grandmothers are executive senior research associates. And therefore, shouldn't that also make the aunts associate research assistants? Please send this to another mom, grandmother, aunt, and other friends that you know, because similar to what Stephanie said, it's family and it takes a village. And sometimes we have to remember that people earn their way into the village, and you have to figure out why you want to make sure you keep it. And speaking of coming into our village, coming in from Facebook is Rogercarole, one of my co-authors today. I'm checking in from a poolside cabana in Savannah, Georgia. It is so important to let people be jealous and envious of good things. Because wouldn't we love to be at a poolside cabana in Savannah, Georgia? Because you know it's not raining. You know the sun is shining. You know you're calm and feeling good. So good for you, Rogercarole, and everybody. This is just like we're celebrating motherhood. This is a celebration. You have to celebrate you when no one else does. And I know, P.S., by the way, I know I'm reading these a little chopped up because I want us to see the stuff that flows through. I will offer anybody, I'll send these to you. You'll be able to put it in the chat. Let me know if you want me to send you copies of the 3 stories that I'm going to read, because I'm down to the last story. Okay, I'm down to the last story. And again, so thank you, Rogercarole, for coming in. This last story. Oh, wait, I got a comment before I do. She's right. Okay. Oh, Stephanie said right. Oh, and I got to remember to slow down because there's a delay. But I'm pretty sure Stephanie's right came in from LinkedIn when I was talking about how important it is to celebrate different things and be envious of good things, but in a beautiful way. And just to make sure that you're celebrating yourself. And Rogercarole celebrated with her daughter and granddaughter. There's that family that you talked about, Stephanie. Yes. And so, okay. So we got the let's see, we got the we got the let's see, we've got the research associate. We got 2 research associates in the field of child development and human resources, because both Rogercarole and her daughter have that title. Rogercarole has gotten her promotion, and therefore she is now the grandmother. So she is a senior research associate in the field of child development and human relations. And their daughter, her granddaughter, Ella, I just love Ella, the friendliest baby in the world, okay, is actually the, is Ella 6 months? She would go right into this thing, but she's in the field of child, she's the new experimental model, and she tests out her vocal patterns as well. When I met Ella last week, it was so funny because I reached in the car and I grabbed her toe and I said, "Oh, she's smiling. She likes you." They said, "No offense, but she likes everybody." So, but that's how I got a chance to meet Ella. And see, again, there's some memories that were created. All right. And then Daphne, I picture myself there. I ain't mad at the child, right? Okay. Right. You can picture yourself at that pool. You ain't got to be mad, just wonderfully envious. You know, there's good envy as well. Just like there's good and bad stress, there's positive and negative stress. We tend to always think stress is a bad thing. No, but there's positive stress as well. When you're exercising, when you're studying for a test, when you're prepping for an interview, when you're getting ready for a presentation, all of those things are positive stress. Okay, so don't, the English language is so important, which is also why I make sure I stop and take commercial breaks and say these things, because everything moves on into another connected thought. And let me also say, when you're presenting, again, don't get so caught up in what you're presenting, that you think you have to have the last say in everything. You know, there's such a thing as, as well, no, that's not what I had planned to say. No, if you say something that I didn't have planned to say, I would like to stop and give you credit, because that's a thought that may fuel, again, better understanding. All right. So Victor's here now. So I got all my and Jose might be in on YouTube, but I know whenever he's on Facebook, we can't see him. So let us know. And then what's up? And then coming in LinkedIn, Cecilia. See, because Cecilia, good. See, and these are 2 people that know one another, Cecilia and Rogercarole, but they're on different mediums, so they might not even know. Especially Rogercarole wouldn't have known Cecilia was on, because she's only seeing the Facebook post feed. So there you go. Boom, making connection. Absolutely. And then we get the hellos. So, Daphne saying hi to Vic, Rogercarole saying hi to Vic. Okay. See, we passed the drink, Rogercarole. We don't need that. No, just no hello. Pass that pina colada around. All right. And Vic saying hello, and Vic saying hello. So this is what we do. So Stephanie, you want to jump in and say hello to somebody? Go right ahead. You can say hello to somebody who ain't even on the feed, and then tell them to watch it, and then tell them, look, I gave you a shout out. Watch the feed. All right. But anyway, that's the beauty of it all. Thank y'all. I tell you, I have a ball. I'm having a ball. All right. So let's go on to the final inspirational message for celebrating moms and for celebration. And this one is called Run Through the Rain. A little girl had been shopping with her mom in Walmart. She must have been 6 years old, this beautiful red-haired, freckle-faced image of innocence. It was pouring rain outside. The kind of rain that gushes over the top of rain gutters, so much in a hurry to hit the earth, it has no time to flow down the spout. We all stood there under the awning and just inside the door of the Walmart. We waited, some patiently, others irritated because nature messed up their hurried day. I am always mesmerized by rainfall. I got lost in the sound and sight of the heavens washing away the dirt and dust of the world. Memories of running, splashing it so carefree as a child came pouring in as a welcome reprieve from the worries of my day. The little voice was so sweet as it broke the hypnotic trance we were all caught in when the little girl said, "Mom, let's run through the rain." Her mother said, "What?" "Let's run through the rain," she repeated. Her mother said, "No, honey, we'll wait until it slows down a bit." The young child waited about another minute and then repeated, "Mom, let's run through the rain." "But we'll get soaked if we do," her mother said. "No, we won't, Mom. That's not what you said this morning," the young girl said as she tugged at her mom's arm. "This morning? What did I say? When did I say we could run through the rain and not get wet?" "Don't you remember," the little girl said, "when you were talking to Daddy about cancer, about his cancer, and you said, if God can get us through this, he can get us through anything." The entire crowd stopped dead silent. I promise you, you couldn't hear anything but the rain. We all stood silently. No one came or left in the next few minutes. Mom paused and thought for a moment about what she would say. Now, some would laugh it off and scold her for being silly. Some might even ignore what was said. But this was a moment of affirmation in a young child's life, a time when innocent trust can be nurtured so that it will bloom into faith. The mom said, "Honey, you are absolutely right. Let's run through the rain. If God lets us get wet, well, maybe we just needed washing." Then off they ran. We all stood watching, smiling, and laughing as they darted past the cars and, yes, through the puddles. They held their shopping bags over their heads just in case. They got soaked, but they were followed by a few who screamed and laughed like children all the way to their cars. And yes, I did too. I ran, I got wet, I needed washing. You see, circumstances or people can take away your material, your circumstances or people can take away your material possessions. They can take away your money. They can take away your health, but no one can ever take away your memories. So don't forget to make time and take the opportunities to make memories every single day. Don't forget to take time and take the opportunities to make memories every single day. To everything, there's a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. And under that heaven, you don't need to hump. What you need to do is keep it together. And so I thank you to my co-authors, Daphne, Rogercarole, Jose, and Victor. And I look forward to thanking you next week when we feature the letter N. So if you have a word with the letter N that you want to be one of my co-authors, put it in the thread. I'm still going to go in and talk to the comments, but I want to just close that thought out because I won't come back to what I'm presenting. And so that's what I want to remind you is to have a good nest, a good morning, afternoon, or evening, because I don't know when you're watching this, but isn't it great to have good in your salutation? Thank you for engaging, enjoying, and sharing in Glue Wednesday. So let's look at some of the comments down there. All right. Look at Vic. Thank you, Vic. And because Stephanie didn't see this, I should have seen this sooner. Stephanie's on LinkedIn, and Vic is saying hi from Facebook. So thank you. All right. Vic's word is going to be nice for next week. That's at the end. It's because it's nice to be nice, but is everyone nice? And Daphne's word is going to be narcissistic. Narcissists, which is so important, as because you'll always hear me talk about how important it is to put yourself first, but not to the point where you are excluding other people, not to be so wrapped up in you that you become like Rogercarole's word today from Malicious, where you are against other people. That's the narcissist, so wrapped up in who they are, they have no time for anybody else. And Stephanie, goodness. Thank you. Yes, goodness to you. Isn't it a fun thing to say? Vic, excellent. Everybody be safe. Yes, thanks, Vic. Always sends us off with a safety reminder. Rogercarole's word next week is going to be noticeable. And you have to notice things. Ladies and gentlemen, life does not stop. You have to be aware of your surroundings. We get on kids' case when they don't do it. Sometimes you got to get on our own case, and it's tough. Come on, you can't be hyper vigilant. Like in the military, when they deploy to a war zone or an active type of tough kind of deployment where they're guarding something, and think about security guards and and politicians these days and professional athletes and movie stars, celebrities. They have to notice what's going on around them, because you never know. So thank you, Rogercarole. But it's not negative. It's also a blessing to notice, because what you have to do is also be looking for the blessings, looking for God's sunshine at the pool. See, that's what you want to notice. Notice the peace while you're sitting down and chilling out. Okay. And then it's novel because you have to have a good idea. Your uniqueness, you could have a novel idea, or you could be reading a novel. But do people want to read your novel, the story of your life? Do they want to look at your comic books? Do they want to see you as a drama or a mystery or an adventure? Okay, novel. So many words. You can be creative. And Stephanie Sharp, thank you. Stephanie sends back her hi to everybody. Family. This is the way, by the way, I did a broadcast for Stephanie's early risers morning prayer group last week. And this is the way they treated me as well. Welcome me into their family. And it's just such a blessing. They do a prayer call every day, Monday through Friday, from 5:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock, not p.m., 6 o'clock a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. And it's a wonderfully spiritual thing, and I've done it. And y'all know, some of y'all know, me and 5:30 are not usually on the same page, but you make a commitment to do it when you do it. And that's the key sometimes. And that's, again, when Rogercarole talked about noticing, sometimes you just have to notice. Rogercarole, making memories. Yes. Keep on making memories. And that's what it is. Making our memories. Celebrate. Hey, there's a good friend of mine, D'Anthony, coming in from LinkedIn. And he's one of my cadre speaker compadres, associates. And we both, he's working with the military as well. Great brother who gets up in front of the room and delivers a great message to help our family and service members make it through the deployment cycle. And his word will be neat, because you want to put things in a neat package sometimes. Don't be sloppy about who you are and how you deliver stuff. So make sure that you're neat. Love to everybody. I like the 3 stories, Sporty Daphne. You got them. Because at first I thought I was going to be able to click them in, but they're not a link. So I have to actually email them to you. And if I have you on LinkedIn, I can actually send it to you there, excuse me, in a message. Okay, so thank you. And then Stephanie, newness. Because every day we are a new being. I always say, if you wake up today the same person you were yesterday, perhaps you never went to sleep. Everything is new. And at the same time, as Solomon said, nothing is new under the sun. Okay, but the key is we have a chance to renew our spirit and joy and every single day and every single moment. And that's where God's love undoes everything. It makes it new. It makes it new. So again, let's slow down and let's remember we can't say two things. We can't say, oh my God, I can't take another thing on my plate. My plate is too full. And then 30 minutes later, encourage a friend. Well, God wouldn't give you more than you can handle. We can't live that. We can't do both of those. You have to choose one. I choose, God wouldn't give you more than you can handle. So when the challenge comes, it's time for doing what Rogercarole said. It's time to notice what's going on. Based on this new challenge, what's happening in my life? Where am I? What do I have to do with what is now coming on? Because it's something that God has given me an assignment. You saw a post I did the other day. It said challenge, and it highlighted the word ALL in challenge. And it's just a reminder that we all have something to do. I can't quote even myself, so you got to go back and look at the meme, but it's all going to be all right. Let's keep looking at God's track record of positivity and salvation and enjoying the newness of every day that he brings us to. And that's why, again, it's great to have good in your salutation. So goodness to you all. And even if you're watching the video, you can still get a word in as a co-author. So don't worry. You don't have to be here live to qualify because that's what we do. All right. Thanks again. God bless y'all all and have a wonderful, wonderful, as Vic said, have a wonderfully safe day. Over and out. I'm going to pause because I know that they have the pause on here. And sometimes I've clicked off and somebody was writing something. Okay. In fact, you know what? I want to click on Stephanie's newness because she was a new member with us today. Thanks for visiting. All right, y'all. Peace.